Hey, everybody, welcome. My name is Aaron Phillips. I got Matt, I got Johnny, and we are Thoughts Count Anywhere coming to you with our premiere show, guys. This is our debut. Are you kidding me?
Hey, we're back.
We are back.
Finally, The Rock has come back to podcast.
The Rocks.
Johnny Rock.
That's right. And we are. This is our inaugural show. This has been in the works for us, like 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah, we're making our play. Why don't you guys share where we are, where we're coming live, so people know where to find us in the future?
We are at the Boulevard Mall at Power Play Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Get right up in there. Let them hear, man. If it's too far away, just take the mic off the brace there.
All right, we're live at the Boulevard Mall at Power Play Sports Cards and Collectibles.
And there's a lot of great stuff in here.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny, what's your favorite thing here in the store? I know what it is, but
It's probably this amazing Alexa Bliss replica title belt.
That's right. We happen to be proudly displaying here, so that at least the belt makes us look good. Anyway, so
Hey, once all this podcast money starts rolling in,
Yeah,
I might take that off Power Play's hands.
people will want to be part of this show because we are not going to be like every other wrestling typical show. Why don't you guys fill in what the show is going to be about and how we're going to get our message across to folks?
Well, I figure the medium is obvious. We are podcasters, and that's how
Yes.
we deliver our message to you. But, we're going to be mostly talking about, what's going on in the wild and crazy world of professional wrestling, and also maybe do some bleed over in other elements of sports and pop culture, because we're men of taste and varied interests, I would say.
Some taste.
We also got some cool guests lined up, maybe some giveaways, some on-the-spot stuff.
Mhm.
Make it interesting, live.
And we'll also bring forth events and things that are not only going on at the mall in general, perhaps more importantly, some of the things that are going on here at Power Play Sports, which we'll get into some of that in a little bit. And if we can get Scott away from the till where he's counting all of his money back in the back room somewhere, like he's got that little black stripe around his arm and he's got that little black visor thing.
Actually, wait, you haven't seen the swimming pool yet?
I haven't seen the swimming pool.
Oh, no, he puts on a little top hat, and he's got a swimming pool full of gold coins.
Oh, I see. Oh, so he's at the end of the rainbow. Is what you're saying.
He Scrooge McDucks it.
Gotcha.
He just dives into this big
Just
pool of
dives
money.
right in. So we'll get Scott on here every once in a while, just kind of talk about the shop, signings, whatever he's got going on. We are thankful for him. We want to thank Scott from Power Play Sports, allowing us to basically, this is our home now.
Yeah.
And we actually have people when they walk by. There's no one walking by right now, but when people walk by the mall, we'll actually be entertaining people in the mall, not only ourselves. But so this is going to be a little bit about everything. So guys, remember, just share us, reshare us. Be sure you go out there and like our Facebook page, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Reshare it, hit it to your wall, so that helps us grow and let folks know what we're here all about. So, yeah. So, are you ready for? Why don't you guys pick a topic? Let's go. Let's get rocking and rolling.
What happened in the world of wrestling? Let's start with Raw and SmackDown. What's going on in the wild world of the World Wrestling Entertainment?
A lot's going on. We got the King of the Ring tournament. Yes. Clash of Champions is coming up in a couple of weeks. New feuds, people coming around. So let's pick one. What do you want? I know you're into the King of the Ring, right?
I love tournaments. I love tournaments, and I'm glad that the tournaments are starting to bleed back over to the main roster, because for me in NXT, one of the highlights every year is the Dusty Classic with the tag teams, and then they've been doing the Mae Young Classic. They've been doing the Cruiserweight Classic. I like tournaments, and it's a really good way to put eyes on new talent. And, pretty much with the field they've selected, it's a lot of first-timers. And, even though the first round is already in the books and done, we've seen a few upsets. A few favorites have been toppled.
Did you expect Ricochet to beat Drew McIntyre?
I did not, but I'm glad he did.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's your favorite? Let's do it right now. Who do you think, Matt? Who do you think is going to win the tournament? I'm taking this thing off the stand.
I want Ricochet to win just because he's one of my favorite wrestlers.
And he's King Ricochet.
But
King Ricochet.
King Ricochet.
That's a nice ring to it. I would love to see Baron Corbin win, just because he irritates the living hell out of everybody.
Why don't you hang on to that?
And the amount of promos he would make, freaking as King of the Ring, would be amazing.
Yeah, and you know what? They were actually talking about it on the Sirius wrestling show, which I don't know if we can plug it or not. But
I don't listen to those guys.
You don't listen to what's his name?
Bully
Busted
Ray?
Open, Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca?
Occasionally. I haven't in a while. Yeah. They are good stuff, though. I like Bully Ray. It just, it's time.
But they went over the past winners, and the majority of them have been bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have the ability to carry that scepter, and they have the ability to carry that crown in a way that the faces can't do.
Well, my pick for the King of the Ring is another fellow bad guy. He's not as polarizing and controversial as Baron Corbin, but my pick for this since round one has been Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe could elevate that title.
I think he needs to really. I think something really good. I mean, for him winning the U.S. title for that brief time, I don't think that really did anything for him.
They need to find a way to elevate Joe into the main event.
Yes,
I agree with that. The guy deserves to be in the main event scene. He's been around. He's been wrestling for almost 20 years.
Right.
He's a known name from the indie scene. When he hit NXT and then eventually main roster, he came with a lot of hype around him. And unfortunately, like, injuries kind of slowed him down, derailed his career a little bit. He's getting on track, but the way his mic work lately has just been so superb. And, Samoa Joe just needs that extra little tiny push to push him into like main event status.
Absolutely.
And he's already proven he can go in the main event scene.
And he's proven it for on really in any promotion he's been at. I agree. I'd like to see him push a little bit more.
Me too.
Who of the newer folk that are Matt? Who do you want to see get a push next? I mean, there's always the talk: who's next, who's this, who's that. But who would you like to see get pushed that perhaps hasn't gotten that opportunity yet?
As much as in like the main event scene, Braun Strowman's already been like super pushed, but he hasn't gotten like the belt yet.
Right.
He's been like inches away, and then something happens, and he's right back down.
Well, they build him as a monster, right? And then something happens that moniker disappears for a while, and now
because a bigger monster appears. A wild Brock Lesnar has appeared.
True. And he's really the only one that you can consider bigger than Braun, and not only in terms of, but I forget stature, but just in terms of ability. I mean,
in terms of pure aggression and animal, like raw power. I mean, Brock does that.
Where would you put Drew? Where would you put Drew McIntyre up against Strowman?
He's not there yet. I like Drew. Since they repacked, I mean, he's a far cry from his original gimmick from many, many years ago. He's not the chosen one. He's this new Scottish psycho, and I love what they're doing with him. It's amazing, but I like him in the upper mid card. I'd like to see him get a run, like a lengthy run with like one of the mid card titles, probably the Intercontinental, just for a while. Give him a good lengthy monster heel run with one of those mid card titles, just kind of cement him as like, hey, Drew McIntyre's not a flash in the pan. He's also not, Baron Corbin and Bobby Lashley's right buddy. Right.
So here's the thing with it's funny you brought up the Intercontinental belt. Up until recently, did we not all forget that Shinsuke Nakamura was the IC title holder?
We have not forgotten.
Right. I mean, how does that title and he go into obscurity that it wasn't even on the last pay-per-view?
Well, I don't think if the last few weeks are any indication, Sami Zayn's not going to let you forget.
No, but that's where that's a nice little partnership now.
Yeah.
Right. Because for a long time, people were saying Shinsuke should not be talking. He should have a Paul Heyman-like voice talking for him. Same thing with Asuka, right?
Yeah, they definitely should.
I mean, Paige was doing it, but now Paige had just recently had another surgery. So the what were they? The Warriors or whatever they Kabuki Warriors, yeah. Paige was kind of their voice.
Yeah.
But now she's out, and now we don't see the Kabuki Warriors really on TV, except for the last bout when they went against the Iconics not too long ago.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but the women's tag division right now is
very weak.
Well, just there's so much more that they could do with it and that they're not.
Could be, sure.
There's plenty of ideas. I mean, I'm going to table that for another show. I could talk about what I'd really like to talk about is actually the Raw tag team division.
Okay.
They've kind of bungled it in recent weeks. I mean, they put the belts on Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, who you're already planning on having going at each other at Clash of Champions.
Right.
So are they transitional champs? Or
probably.
I mean, now who's our number one? Dolph
Ziggler and Bobby, and they were just. I mean,
Robert
Roode, the glorious one.
Put respect on that mustache.
Right. Put some stank on the
mustache. Fresh from the porno scene from the 70s. Meet Rude's mustache.
That's a mustache that'll make Joey Ryan smile.
But it's funny, these teams that just get thrown together. Look at Cesaro and Sheamus when they were thrown together by Mick Foley.
I like that. I like the lead up to that.
Yeah, that worked well. But that's just it. There was a lead up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Here you just get Ziggler and Rude, two guys who, for all intents and purposes, meant nothing anywhere on the card, and all of a sudden now they win the number one contender seed in that gauntlet match.
Well, the biggest slap in the face to me was like, okay, I like factions. I'm very unabashedly pro faction. I loved growing up with like DX and the NWO,
Mm-hmm.
and, even the corporation, the corporate ministry, like all of that. I like groups because groups are a good way to utilize talent you don't always get to see all the time.
Right. Yeah.
And eventually, like, sometimes somebody shines bright in that faction and they become like, I mean, like when Randy Orton had the Legacy.
Right.
Who knew what Cody Rhodes would become when he formed the Legacy?
Sure.
Ted DiBiase Jr.
Right. And that faction made a whole lot of sense back in that time.
And so, like, you have the faction. I like when you have all the gold on a faction.
Right.
I'm not shy about my love for the Undisputed Era, and they will be draped in gold by the end of the year. Hashtag Roddy needs a belt. But I gotta say, I liked AJ having the U.S. title and Gallows and Anderson having the tag belts.
Mm-hmm.
I like the OC. I mean, the name is stupid, but the faction is great.
Right.
And, oh, man, I'm just kind of fantasy booking here, but when Finn Balor comes back from his little vacation, I want him to come back heel and just join the OC. Like, just if you're going to quit dancing around it, just give us Bullet Club.
But do you see him coming back, though, with more of the demon to go against Bray now? And Bray's a whole nother topic. But
we're going to talk about Bray later.
Okay, so we'll save that question.
I got some stuff to talk about.
Now, also, we have AEW's got a card coming up, I think, this weekend, don't they?
You say it so calmly.
Well,
they have a card.
It's like a card. I mean, Moxley's not part of it, so now it's just a card. Sorry, Pac and Kenny Omega.
Wow, jeez.
To me right now, as far as AEW is concerned, to me the big money guy, in my opinion, is Jericho.
Of course, I mean,
in
the shirt.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about Cody, you could talk about all these guys, but to me, the guy that's really helped put AEW on the map, I believe, is Jericho. And he's having another turn in his career that is every time he has stepped back into the ring after taking Fozzy time, he has just never really done anything wrong.
Chris Jericho has a very, very rare gift in professional wrestling that you can literally give him just a piece of wood, like a stick, just a branch you get off the tree, and he'll get that branch over. Like anything you put in Jericho's hands will turn to gold. He's not Judas. He is Midas.
Right, exactly. I want to welcome Pete Wilbur to the podcast. He's currently viewing us here.
Hey, what's up, Pete?
So Pete's out there. Thank you. Reshare us here, Pete. Reshare us direct to your wall so that people know we're going on, and we appreciate your support.
Speaking of Jericho, he got the word "it" over.
Oh, yeah.
How's that even possible?
Dude, he got
a pen click.
He got a clipboard to potted plant over in the same year. I mean,
that's talent. That is absolutely talent.
Come on, even Moxley put the potted plant over in his famous podcast.
Exactly. That was too funny. But we won't go there. But unfortunately, we
rest in peace, Mitch the Plant.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody pretty much knows now that Moxley won't be there because he has a MRSA infection in his elbow, which will take him out. They're hoping he'll be back in time for the October card when they go on TV. Actually, was it the 2nd of October they debut?
Yep.
Now, I kind of feel like a wrestling psychic here because the minute Matt broke that news to us in the group chat, I said, well, it'd be smart if they bring Pac in because he's no longer the Open Dragon Gate champion. He's not running this undefeated bastard streak. He can afford to take a loss or a win.
Right.
Bring Pac in to face Kenny Omega. That's a money match. I paid money to see that. And then sure enough, within the hour – you posted like this just announced Kenny Omega versus Pac, and I'm like, called it.
Well, his name, Pac's name, though, had been linked to AEW for potential for a while. Anyway,
he's been signed since they had their press conference in Vegas. I mean, the only reason he pulled out of Double or Nothing, and I actually when I read all the facts on it, like everybody thought like he backed out of his contract. Everybody thought he never did. He was always signed. He just felt that the match with Hangman Page would not suit his character at the time. Like I said, he was a champion in another promotion, running on the gimmick of being undefeated, and he didn't. But they wanted to position Hangman Page as the guy to face, to be in that title match for that inaugural title. Pac didn't want to take the loss to Hangman, and honestly, in hindsight, it suited his character at the time. So I don't blame him for exercising a bit of character control on that. And if that's the way AEW is going to play things, I salute them for that because you don't got all this, if the booking suits the gimmick, if the booking suits the character, then go with it. That's one of my big problems with WWE right now is like, why did Gallows and Anderson have to drop the titles to Strowman and Rollins? It makes no sense at all. I don't know where the storyline's going unless they're just, they want to have people pulling double duty at Clash of Champions.
Right.
To me, that takes away a payday.
Well, wasn't the original concept of Clash of Champions way back in the day was that champions would battle champions?
No. It just means every title. It's the only pay-per-view of the year
where every title's up.
Besides WrestleMania, but I mean, sometimes WrestleMania doesn't always ascribe to that formula.
Right.
But Clash of Champions is built as the one time where every single championship in the company is on the line.
So here's another one I want to talk about. Is I heard this discussion on Busted Open earlier, which I thought was quite interesting. Which women's championship would you be more invested in? Bayley and Charlotte, or Sasha and Becky, and why?
Matt, you can take this one first.
I throw my own gauntlet down with that question.
I would go Sasha and Becky because Becky's like the most over woman in the whole wrestling industry at the moment. Still, like a year later, Sasha is just coming back, and she has still a lot to prove of after all the whining and crying she did on Instagram. And
folks, there's not an earthquake going on, but the guys and myself, we have to remember to stop banging the table. So if you're hearing that in the background, we're not having an earthquake. So we're okay.
I'm just going to Orange Cassidy for the rest of the show.
That's something we all have to remember not to do because we're just using a extra table here. So, but it'll be picked up. So don't worry about it. There's no earthquake going on. No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you're fine.
So here's the interesting thing. In terms of pure wrestling, okay, how would you rank the 4 women? Pure wrestling in the ring. I'm not talking mics. I'm not talking being over. How would you rank the 4 ladies that I just mentioned in terms of wrestling? Because the thought is that in terms of emotional involvement, okay, Becky and Sasha will have that.
Yeah.
But from a pure technical wrestling ability in the ring, people are saying that Bayley and Charlotte will have that. Your thoughts?
That makes sense. Yeah, Charlotte probably is like the best wrestler of the 4, but I think Becky's the most entertaining. Sasha's pretty up there on the mic. I'd say the Bayley and Charlotte have like the most technical match.
1 and 1A, right?
But Becky and Sasha will have like the most entertaining and crowd involvement like match.
Okay.
I agree. For one, like Charlotte is the head of the, this is actually the first pay-per-view I've seen where all 4 horsemen are involved with matches with each other.
Right.
You actually have all 4 horsewomen battling each other. I think people are just glossing over. I think this is the first time that's actually happened.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Since NXT. And Becky and Charlotte are in a class of, like, in a wrestling class of their own. Charlotte is a once in a generational talent. I mean, I've seen that woman do things in the ring, both on TV and live and in person, like that I've never seen a woman do in the ring ever.
I want to give a quick shout out to Carol, who's out there watching, and Big Dirty from BBW is currently in the chat room. So we'll be talking about BBW's card this weekend here in a few minutes.
That's right.
Thanks for checking in, guys. We appreciate it. Please reshare us like Pete did. Reshare the stream to your wall so people can catch us. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I mean, in terms of wrestling ability, I mean, I find Becky and Charlotte to be a cut above Sasha. In fact, I don't really like watching Sasha Banks in the ring. I think she's a botch machine. She does some things in the ring that I just find to be so unsafe. I mean, she obviously comes out of it unscathed, but like I've seen her take some pretty nasty bumps in the last couple of years. So in terms of pure wrestling ability, I think Sasha's the lowest of the 4.
Okay.
But, I mean, she's very entertaining, and she works her character well, and I've been waiting for her to go back to being a heel because I don't know if you remember Sasha in NXT. She was an amazing heel.
Right.
And I felt like it fits her natural personality because, the whole Sasha's Ratchet thing. Like, she's just a naturally snide, snarky person.
Oh, yeah.
And I really feel like it's like Randy Orton. I can never buy Randy Orton as a babyface. He's got a heel personality in real life.
Right.
Whereas like Sasha, when you see her smile, it's always like,
it always looks fake.
Yeah, it's like if I smile any harder, like I'm gonna rip a muscle in my face.
But then again, it's not every guy that will allow his kid to do an RKO on you going into a pool.
Well, that's true. And,
so I mean that's a pretty good step.
And apparently not all high school principals allow her.
No, exactly. By the way, make sure that's close up. By the way, I just handed a mic to the guy who runs the place.
Hey!
It's not AJ Styles.
No,
it's not AJ Styles, but he's been back here kind of directing and everything. So I want him to become known as like the God voice because we'll hear him a lot, but we may not see him on camera. But exactly.
Didn't Vince McMahon beat you at Backlash?
So, Scott, say hello to everybody. Let them hear your voice.
Hello, everyone out there in radio, internet, podcast land.
There you go. Now, if you want to show them your face, come on around, because I want them to know we're not throwing voices, or Terry Fader's not here. There he is. He's the man that owns the place. But what he's doing is he's helping us actually direct it and do this. But I want to give him a mic so that when he has a thought and wants to jump in, gosh, he's more than welcome, because I thought I had a lot of wrestling years under my belt from 1976. I pale in comparison to what this guy does and knows, and the people he knows in the industry is amazing. So,
well, Scott, why don't you educate the people? What is your professional wrestling?
Well, in professional wrestling, I spent 15 years on the Cauliflower Alley Club board of directors.
Right on.
So basically, in a nutshell, help promote the banquet with a bunch of other wonderful people throughout the years.
Does that mean we get in this year? We know somebody we can get in for the banquet?
Former board member.
Well, that's okay. You still got to know people, don't you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We still remain
He knows the waiters, the waitresses.
The bellhops. I can take care of all that for you. And then, obviously, I've had 35 years in the sports memorabilia industry here in Las Vegas. Also was on the board of the Sports Collectors National for 6 years. Did my time in purgatory. But then also, I was part of the first indie wrestling organization here in Las Vegas years ago.
Which was?
That was the NWC.
Okay.
And it had a wonderful run. And, T.C. Martin was the original owner of it. I came in at the very end, but, it had its day. And then, a few years later, Joe DeFalco with FSW came into play. Mm-hmm. And then it has just prospered from there. Las Vegas is a mecca for pro wrestling.
It is, and we talked about that actually in our previous show about how Vegas has been growing as a location for the indie scene and for promotions. It's just crazy. People don't understand how that really is part of the entertainment value of Las Vegas.
If you remember what I said during Double or Nothing weekend, was that there were so many indie shows. It felt like a WrestleMania weekend.
Yes,
and just all the indie shows and all the talent from all over the world that were here. To me, it was like I told a lot of my colleagues. In fact, I don't know if you know who Jack the Jobber from Cultaholic is.
Okay.
I met him at one of the shows, and I kind of pulled him aside. I was like, right now, all eyes in the wrestling world are on our city. They're on Las Vegas right now. This is some of the best independent talent from around the country and around the world that are here in our city. And a lot of them had a very favorable experience, and a lot of them have said, "Oh, I want to come back. I can't wait till Vegas books me again."
Right.
We've got guys coming in from the East Coast and the Midwest, from MLW and GCW. We got guys coming in from California.
I mean, what's not to love about working in Vegas in any form of entertainment?
Right.
Whether it's wrestling, whether it's what we do as podcasters, whatever. Who doesn't? I mean, the taxation is good here for employment stuff. I mean, who wouldn't want to work here now with our scene growing? And it's only going to keep going because the Raiders now are coming here, and we are becoming a sports mecca in this country.
Yeah.
Why not wrestling to grow here?
Well, one good thing about Las Vegas, it's a hub for some of the most major airlines. You've got Allegiant, you've got Southwest. A number of my friends and cohorts in the business, it's easy to get a flight in and out almost any time of day, every hour on the hour. So if you're an indie wrestler, not only is it good tax benefits, but the transportation helps quite a bit. And then when you come in, you got plenty of hotel rooms because, I remember Super Bowls and that being in Jacksonville where not enough hotel rooms. You've got plenty of that here along with the restaurants, the entertainment, transportation's great. So, we have the Mecca here and, we
get more people. It's funny you mention the Super Bowl. We get more people in this town during Super Bowl weekend than the Super Bowl site actually gets for the games and all their stuff.
Absolutely. And take using your comment there, mark my words, we'll never get a Super Bowl. There's no benefit to Las Vegas.
No, but there's a benefit to the NFL having it here. Otherwise, why would we have the Raiders been approved here?
Oh, very true.
I mean, I think having the Raiders here greatly increases the chances of maybe having one. If we didn't have the Raiders, I would say it would be a zero chance.
Well, I'm more concerned about us having a WrestleMania by WrestleMania 40 here.
Have it right in the Allegiant Stadium.
Rumor has it there's 5 cities left for 2021, and LA and Vegas are 2 of the 5.
I wouldn't want to see. I want to see it as a nice round number, like you said, 40.
Yeah.
What a great number.
I want it to be a big one. It's a big stadium. It's going to be new.
Because the weather here in April is terrific.
Of course.
I remember going to the WrestleMania out in the parking lot of Caesar's Palace.
Well, so, I feel like fish in an aquarium. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't mean to cut you off. But we have some folks walking by. Hi, guys. We're doing a live podcast. Hi. Thoughts Count. No, not that. That's my other show. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All about pro wrestling and pop culture. This is our debut episode.
Well, I wish you many more.
Thank you. Like us on Facebook.
Thank you for stopping in.
No, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Don't look at the screen, the skin. That's a different show. Thanks, guys. Thanks for stopping in.
Are you moonlighting on this show?
Well, yeah. I have to. I'm a podcast producer, and I do a lot of podcasts. I got another one I'm doing starting the 9th, so I'm all over the place.
I know we're on a podcast internet, so we could really say anything, but are you an internet? Never mind.
Am I an internet whore? No. Am I a podcast whore? Yes.
Yes.
Wherever there's a microphone and a need for my voice, trust me, I'll be there somehow.
We like to call him an internet darling.
Yeah, an internet darling. There you go. That's it. The only time darling and my name's ever going to come together in a sentence. That's for sure. Want to thank everybody for joining in. You are watching the debut episode of Thoughts Count Anywhere, hosted by the three of us and the boss back here, Scott. We're coming to you live from Power Play Sports right here at the Boulevard Mall. While we have Scott here, why don't you pull up the sheet there, Johnny? Let's talk about some of the signings that he's got coming on here, including one this weekend, right?
Yeah, actually, we have, if you're a Golden Knights fan, we have Ryan Reeves, the Goon, Revo himself, going to be at the Sunset Station between, 1 to 3?
1 to 3 on Saturday. The show runs 10 to 6. So if you're not a hockey fan or a Ryan Reeves fan, Golden Knights fan, which you should be penalized for that.
Go Knights go.
But if you're a sports collector or even a toy collector with all the Funko Pops out there, we've got a huge show going over. It's free admission. Bring the family down. Make it a weekend.
Sadly, we don't have a Reeves Pop yet.
And you never will. Nothing
No,
against that, but a Goon.
I want him as a 2-pack just pummeling one of the Sharks.
I would buy like 5 of those. I hate the
I
Sharks.
think Tom Wilson of the Capitals has that number down for the second one.
One thing, everybody, I sent out a invite for a watch party,
Right?
and
cool.
I'm blowing up.
Oh,
Listen,
cool.
we're blowing up. Please
Right on.
reshare us. And also, I noticed out there, so I do have to do a little moonlighting plug. My partner from my other podcast, Neil Portnoy, twin brothers from different mothers, is out there watching right now too.
Oh, what's up, Neil?
Hey,
So
Neil.
yeah, so he's out there, and I got to get you over to Neil's shop. You'll really love his illustrations, his sport. I mean, you got to get over there,
Absolutely.
especially as a big
Anytime.
sports guy.
Yep.
Anyway, so he's out
Fastest
there.
pencils in the West.
No.
Magic markers.
Sharpers. Sharpies.
Fastest Sharpies in the
Yes,
West.
marker. That's all he does it with. Markers, no paint, no chalk, no nothing. Absolutely incredible. And I'm not saying that because he's watching, but I still want to be able to do my show safely in his gallery. So, Neil, you're the greatest. Anyway, so thank you for joining in. Please reshare the feedback to you all so your friends see us as well. So there's a lot going on in the wrestling world, and it's going to continue to change.
Well, let's run down this.
Yes, go.
Let's run
Yes.
down this all-out card because.
Oh, speaking of signings, though, you have one coming up with the Blanchards. Let's talk about that, right?
Oh yeah.
First Saturday in November 2nd, I have the Hall of Famer, in my opinion, the best heel ever, Tully Blanchard, 4 Horsemen. He will be signing with his lovely daughter, probably one of the best female talents in the industry, Tessa Blanchard.
You might want to keep me away from her.
Oh, stop it.
I'm going to ask.
Speaking of fantasy booking, do you imagine Charlotte versus Tessa?
That's what everybody's hoping to see someday.
Eventually that's gonna happen.
I really.
Oh, I'm sure.
The generational wrestling between those two with their lineage is crazy.
Absolutely. The one thing when you have those two together, this will be the first public signing that they've ever done is father-daughter.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
going to
cool.
be awesome.
So it's the first. So November 2nd.
November 2nd,
And that's
here
where
at the-
again? Right
here
here.
at the Boulevard Mall, Power Play Sports Collectibles. For more information, you can come into the show or the shop here, speak with Linda, my manager. You can speak with me. You can send us an email. You can call the store at 702-482-PLAY.
And what time again?
She'll be here from 2 to 5.
I'm thinking after twin brothers from different mothers that Saturday, we may want to hightail it down here and set up a little something while those two are.
I like.
Do we know somebody that can do that for us? Set us up.
That is if Dad and I can get off the golf course.
Oh, I
too.
see. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Cool. Oh, we even got Bark Andre Furry who's watching us.
Oh, hi, Bark.
Yeah, Bark's watching us right now.
I love Bark.
So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. All right, let's get back to the card. Go for
Okay,
it.
so let's run down this.
There you go. I'll throw the info over to you.
Let's run down this all-out card. We'll just kind of do this rather quickly. So we have a tag match between Private Party and Angelico and Jack Evans.
Okay.
Now, my pick for this match is going to be Angelico and Jack Evans because they've got a goose egg in the win department since they joined AEW.
Okay.
And I really think that you can't have a team that talented just circling the drain all the time. I think a big win's in their future. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. That's insane. They haven't won a match yet. Those two are so talented, and Private Party's cool and all, but
They can afford to take
Angelico
one.
and Evans need to take that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. You just keep rolling down the card in the interest of time.
All
That's
right.
all.
So we have this 21 women casino battle royale.
21
21
casino
women.
blackjack.
Well,
I just got it.
You got to hit 21.
I just got it.
21 to win. But yeah, we have some a lot of the AEW women's talent that's already been signed. I expect a few surprises. But also Roddy Piper's
Yes,
daughter.
the
Teal.
daughter. Yeah,
His daughter Teal is one of the.
but she did not. It was expected. She was hoping to have signed with AEW, but she's only for this one match. Because then she's going to Women of Wrestling. Is that where it was? Wow.
She's actually being trained by Tessa.
Oh, that's right.
Right on.
There you go. Another connection.
And,
That's a
see,
good teacher.
and Tessa is not officially signed with AEW. Is she still under contract to Impact or Ring of Honor?
Are there true Impact contracts?
I'm
just saying.
I mean, there are Impact contracts because apparently Killer Cross
Can't get his release.
Can't get his release.
Apparently, yes. Okay, so keep going. What else is on the card?
We also got this this match I'm actually really looking forward to just because of the people involved. We have SoCal Uncensored, all three of them, Daniels Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, versus probably the greatest tag team that I've seen come along in a while in terms of pure gimmick. A Boy and His Dinosaur.
Okay.
And Marco Stunt. So you have like small, medium, and large. And I never thought I'd ever consider Jungle Boy to be a medium, but have you seen Marco Stunt? He's like the bite-sized brawler. I mean, he's like
Is he a midget?
He's not a midget, but he's just a very short man.
All right.
It's like I think
He's very vertically challenged.
I mean, I think Alexa Bliss might.
So is Johnny. Be careful.
Marco Stunt probably comes up to the middle of my
See?
middle of my bicep.
Does he have you have to be this tall to get in the ring kind of thing?
I think he needs to step higher together.
Gotcha.
But I tell you what,
Catapult.
he's got
You know,
talent.
like some cars trampoline to bring over there.
He's small, but he's got talent. He can go.
Shout out to Cameron. Cameron's watching us
What's up,
right now.
Cameron?
What's up, Cameron?
Thank you for joining in, man. Appreciate it.
So yeah, that match just, I mean, I really don't care who wins. Like all six of those guys can put on a fun, entertaining match. Luchasaurus is probably the one, crazy dinosaur gimmick aside, he's probably one of the most talented guys I've seen in the ring for a big man.
Right.
I've seen Luchasaurus do some things live that I've never seen a man his size do. He's very athletic. He's very smart. He's got a good head for ring psychology, and I really like watching the guy work. So,
Wasn't he just in Vegas not too long ago down to Fremont Street?
Actually, yeah, he's in Vegas a lot. Actually, I've seen him work FSW shows.
Okay.
He worked was it the Raja one, the Nexus show a few months ago?
Okay.
He worked Fight Capital.
Gotcha.
then
I saw him come out. I didn't realize he was that big.
He's huge.
Like, he looks big on TV, but you see him in person.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
I've been in the back with him, and he's just a massive dude. He's probably like as big as Kane.
Jeez.
He's a big
Crazy. All right, what's next on the card?
All right, so we got Riho versus Shida, two of these amazing Japanese women, and Riho's built herself up a little bit of a winning streak in AEW so far, getting she's working as a heel, but she's getting the fans behind her because, I remember at Double or Nothing, she came out and nobody knew who she was, but she won. She got the pinfall at Double or Nothing, and has just been on a roll since then. She won at Fyter Fest. I think she lost at Fight for the Fallen, but teaming with Britt Baker, but.
Who was interviewed today by Busted Open. I was listening to the replay of it coming in. Dentist. That's why she's a doctor. She's a 1 year out. She's an actual dentist.
Oh yeah.
So I told her she should double down, knock the people's teeth out there in the paper.
Exactly.
Fix them on Monday.
Those cards in the lockers.
She can make her own clientele. What's next? What's the main event of the card this week?
There's a few main events. We have the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks.
Okay.
Which that's for the AAA tag titles.
Yep, ladder match.
And I got to see the Luchas taking this one. It's a Mexican belt. I feel like it should stay with the Luchadors. And plus, the Bucks got to lose sometime. They're 3-0 since AEW started.
And you're kind of the vice president.
Yeah, you can't just book yourself to win all the time.
Even Triple H takes losses. Come on now.
Triple H.
Are you trying to say they're not Vern Gagne's?
No. There's no Gagne rule here.
One of the episodes we'll have to
Okay.
share some of the stories Mr. Bockwinkel has shared with me over
I
the
would love
years.
it.
God rest his soul, one of the best of all time.
I would love to hear the stories.
You know, ow. I totally lost my train of thought for a minute.
Easily distracted by
Sorry.
the red light. Easily distracted by
The
the red
train came through
Shiny
the
things.
light. We were talking about main events.
Oh, well, it's not a main event, but I don't want to gloss over this match because this Darby Allin, Jimmy Havoc, and Joey Janela match is just going to be probably the craziest thing we've seen in AEW yet. I mean, more crazy than Moxley versus Janela with the thumbtacks.
Oh,
But these three guys come from a hardcore background. And
Right.
I've seen them all do some crazy things in the ring. This is going to be pure Attitude Era hardcore match craziness. And I, for one, I'm not all about the blood and guts, but I do I like a variety. And I think these three guys have a niche, and you're putting all three of those guys who fit this mold in a triple threat match against each other.
Something crazy is gonna go down.
Joey Janela is probably almost going to die at least 3 times. There will be at least one "Don't Die Joey" chant.
jeez, that would not be good for the show if he does, right? That would not be
No,
good.
he'll
That's all ratings.
he'll draw ratings. Now Joey Janela will break his back and then tweet from the backstage drinking a White Claw. Fine, guys.
Crazy. What's next?
So
What
we got,
else is on
so
the card?
the main events, we have Cody Rhodes versus Shawn Spears with Tully Blanchard in Shawn Spears' corner.
Really? And for
Yeah.
those who don't know that name, Shawn Spears was who with the WWE? The 10, Ty Dillinger.
The
Right?
perfect 10,
The perfect 10.
Mr. Peyton Royce.
That's
Lucky bastard.
That's right. Just heard that this week. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. I mean, again, does Cody take the win, or do we get somebody over that's new in AEW?
I'd like to see Shawn Spears take the win.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
that
wow.
only makes sense, especially if we got Tully in his corner, right?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
would you bring Tully in?
Exactly. Maybe underhandedly.
Mm.
Maybe a little dirty work by
Right.
Tully.
Tully?
No.
No, Tully. No, Tully.
Not the Horseman.
No,
Really?
Tully's a gentleman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on. He used to hang out with Ric Flair. Ric Flair is just above reproach.
All right, before we go on with another wrestling topic, because we did promise folks
Well-
it's also going to be some culture, so
well,
let's wrap that
Well,
up. and-
let's wrap up
Yep.
all out because we, of course,
Yep.
we mentioned Pac versus Kenny Omega.
Yep.
I actually have I have Omega in this match. I think Pac can afford to take a loss finally.
Okay.
And after Kenny's had a rough road so far in AEW, so what do you guys think, Pac or Omega?
I'll probably take Omega. Z should be like top tier,
Mhm.
like talent in that company. He's like voted the best in the world how many years now?
Right. All right, Aaron, who do you?
No, I was going to say Scott was pulling up the mic. So Scott,
I'll go with Omega also. I think he's one of the top talents in the industry, and his time is now.
I think if Moxley were still in the match, I would have leaned more towards Moxley getting it because of the publicity and everything, or a draw between the two somehow. But now that Pac is coming in, I would agree. I think Omega's got to take the win on this one.
It's going to be a hell of a match,
So-
though. I mean, both of those guys are incredible talents.
Absolutely.
And of course, the granddaddy of them all, the moneymaker, the draw, the main event. Hangman Adam Page versus Chris Jericho, the Painmaker, the Lionheart, Y2J,
The
whatever.
GOAT.
The GOAT, the best there is at what he does. Chris Jericho is winning.
The Ayatollah of rock and roll.
That's right. Chris Jericho will be your first AEW inaugural champion.
I think so. It only makes sense.
If he wins that belt, he better get his thank you already.
I thanked him at Double or Nothing. I had a whole section shouting "Thank you, Chris," but apparently my thanks mean nothing.
Well,
If you're going to put over a company, that's the best person you have
Absolutely.
on the roster right now.
Mhm.
right.
He, as we've had conversation prior to the show,
Mhm.
when you ask the average person on the street who Hangman Page is, they don't have a clue. But you tell them who Chris Jericho is, they will know. And it's from his days at, WCW, WWE,
Or his list.
or his list. But he has that name recognition.
Absolutely.
So
Box office appeal.
putting the belt on him first time will get it over.
Every
Yeah.
other entry on the list of Jericho is armbar, right?
I remember
I
the
did not know
1,000 moves. That was hilarious.
Armbar,
Did not know that.
arm drag.
All right,
Armbar.
so that's the whole card. And when is that card? That's this weekend.
That's this week. That's Sunday.
Sunday.
Or-
All right.
No, Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Saturday.
Sorry.
Well,
Saturday.
I'm glad it's Saturday because we cannot have it work against BVW's big card on Saturday. We'll talk about that in a minute with what
Indeed.
they've got coming
But
up.
now it is being counter programmed with NXT Takeover UK. What is it? Cardiff.
Yep.
Yeah, but with the time difference, NXT,
Yeah.
you know, UK is gonna be like 3 a.m. So I mean, or whatever,
Well,
whatever the time difference
I'm
is.
actually going to a concert at the Las Vegas House of Blues that night, so I'm gonna have to watch both of them late.
Oh, there you go.
So
there you go.
I'm gonna turn off my Twitter. I'm gonna turn off my Facebook. I'm just gonna like put my phone in my pocket and not be on it because I want no spoilers for any of it.
So let me throw this question out, Jared. I'm going to change gears for a reason here. Okay. And Scott, please chime in with this as well. Right now, today, what's the biggest pop culture news that's going on out there non-wrestling to you? What's the craziest pop culture topic that's being talked about or happening or whatever that you want to just chat about? Go ahead. You got something, right? I could tell.
So I had a Popeye's chicken sandwich today.
Yeah, what is the big deal with Popeye chicken sandwiches? Am I missing something?
Do we like get penalized for having your cell phone?
And
on?
that's not the first time he's done that. He should know better on previous podcasts. I'll tell you what, let's put this in the lockbox behind us. So Popeye, I mean, what's the big deal? Why is this chicken sandwich? Is this to try to get away from Chick-fil-A?
Well, no, basically they made a
They're open on
Chick-fil-A
Sundays.
They made a Chick-fil-A yeah. Popeye's made a chicken sandwich that's, you know, very similar to what Chick-fil-A puts out as their Chick-fil-A sandwich. You know, it's basically just fried chicken and a pickle on a bun.
Right.
You know, it's like sauteed or savored. I don't know cooking, marinated in whatever kind of spices they use. But
Special sauce.
you know, it's like other than the breading, they taste pretty much the same.
Right.
But you know, like it's sparked this whole Twitter war between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, and everybody's getting into it. Okay, the Popeyes by my house, I've never had to wait in line for. I usually go in there, I get the surf and turf, the chicken and shrimp meal.
Right.
It's tasty. I like Popeyes chicken. I go there, the drive-through line was like wrapped around the store to where I couldn't even pull into the parking lot. For Popeyes.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, I'll just go in the store because I kind of want to sit down and eat.
Right.
I walk in, the line is like up to the door.
Jeez.
And I'm like, Jesus, people, it's only a chicken sandwich. Like, you sheep. So,
Well, hey, listen, you know,
It's
zombie
like-
culture.
so basically, I spend the whole time in line complaining about like this whole Twitter feud and how it's ridiculous and just asinine.
but yet the store's packed and it's working.
But yet, as soon as I get up to the counter, I lead off by ordering the shrimp, and then I'm like, "And can I get a chicken sandwich?" I ordered it so like
Off the cuff.
like under my breath because I was like, I don't want these.
Look, I want to try one too.
Hey, I want to give a special shout out. I just saw popped into the live feed that one of my hopeful potential future bosses, Ken Johnson, who's the founder of Vegas the Network, which is a new internet cable TV thing, is happening. I filmed a couple of pilots for him. So Ken, hope all is well. Thank you for tuning in and can't wait to hear an update. But anyway, so I love giving shout outs to people. People love hearing their names, you know, mentioned. So that's why I'm monitoring that. And I can't keep up with it.
Did I see Vince McMahon go by?
he said you're fired. So I don't know what that meant.
That's Vincent Kyle McMahon. Not Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Just wait for the comment of "This is some good shit."
There you go. There you go. So all right. So what's your pop culture topic that's been eating at you for a while, or that's out there that's of interest to you?
The only thing I've really seen on Twitter is the whole Popeyes and Chick-fil-A thing.
Okay. Nothing of interest to you besides food that's in pop culture?
Well, does it look like Matt or I have missed many meals?
No. Actually,
You know,
none of us have.
So in pop news, because we all know I'm a big Funko Pop collector, I got my The Man Becky Lynch pop in the mail today.
You know he's got an Alexa Bliss one on the shelf here.
I
signed.
know. I want it. I want it.
He told me he's got
Don't
it.
know what you're going to do with an Alexa Bliss pop.
You don't want to know what I'm going to do with an
Oh my goodness, that's a whole nother show.
This is a PG show.
By the way, I notice as people walking by here, I feel like I'm at Walmart because there's some interesting people going by. There's some interesting
a few
outfits.
people wave at us.
Hashtag people of the boulevard.
Well, you know, when you see those memes come up of people how they're dressed in Walmart's off hours, I'm seeing some interesting outfits go by. This is a great scene.
Well,
Okay,
I gotta say, like going back to Funko's,
He's trying to save us is what he's trying to do. I can
well-
turn his mic off, Scott, if you want to make your point. So.
Well, you know, the one thing I do not carry in the store is full-length mirrors, and I think I might need to.
Maybe there's a reason. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was just commenting to Matt. We were in one of the other stores here at the mall, like looking at pops, and I was like, you know, it's crazy because I collect the WWE pops. Obviously, I'm a fan. We have an Eva Marie pop,
Eva Marie.
but we don't have like an Edge pop or a Miz pop.
Did you see what Edge looked like this week? They showed a picture from where he's cut now.
He's in great shape.
I am actually hearing. I have nothing confirmed. I have no sources to cite, but I've seen a lot of rumors that he might be cleared to come back.
Something had to have happened if he gave Elias that spear.
Yeah.
If it wasn't cleared, he wasn't going to do that.
He threw his full body weight into that spear, and that gave me a little hope because Edge was always one of my.
But how would you bring him into the ring? How would you bring him into a story?
You brought Goldberg back.
You brought Goldberg back. Come on, you brought Jeff Jarrett back for the Royal Rumble. I mean, come on, like.
But that's a gimmick match. So bringing him back for that, I understand. Goldberg, they brought him back at the last match with Ziggler because they had to clean up the bad taste against The Undertaker, just like Taker had a good match with Roman. But how would you bring, Edge back in? I mean, under what storyline could you bring Edge back in?
I'm sure I don't trust creative.
Notice that? Okay, on that pop culture note, so let's go back. Scott, what's interest of you on pop culture? Anything non-wrestling? What's out there that has your interest?
I have to agree with these two gentlemen to my left or to the right for the internet viewers. The Popeye's chicken is taking storm. I mean, it's on Fox News, it's on CNN, it's on MSNBC. I'm trying to make sure I don't get you in trouble with our president naming all the news agencies. But needless to say, that's it. I have not seen much in the news except which chicken sandwich is better.
It's kind of sad.
Can you believe people were like demolishing restaurants because they were out? Like, how good could that thing?
They had to shut down. I saw they had to shut down the restaurant because they ran out.
People were literally throwing chairs, like literally trying to break the restaurant.
That's just people being stupid, and that happens all the time.
Or the next tryout for AEW. I mean,
hosted by John Moxley. Here's the next tryout in your Popeye's chicken.
I just want to see Wendy's get involved in this. Whoever their social media person is a freaking genius.
Next AEW pay-per-view, Panic at the Popeyes.
In this
featuring a chicken sandwich on a pole match.
And then you have Ronald McDonald entering the ring privately.
That's right.
Oh, my God.
For the hot and spicy McChicken.
Ronald McDonald, AEW
goodness.
confirmed. There's an indie wrestler called Dirty Ron McDonald?
Yes.
Oh, my
dear
goodness.
Lord.
So here's one I want to throw. It's completely off food. I'm going to get off food. This thing with Andrew Luck. I know it's not pop culture per se, but the guy announces his retirement out of the blue on Saturday. Okay, so I'm sure everybody's running into the store to get any Andrew Luck stuff.
Sold out.
But he's getting a lot. I mean, did you see Doug Gottlieb's comment on Twitter?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely.
And everybody lambasted him.
Oh, well,
good for them.
You know what? Good for them because it was an ignorant comment.
This is how millennials act. I mean,
because,
you know
what though? A lot of people don't read the writing on the walls here, and maybe this is just me as a wrestling fan, fantasy booking the NFL here.
Right.
But you do know what Andrew's father does for a living, right?
He is not going to the XFL.
Oliver Luck is the CEO of Vince McMahon's XFL.
There, imagine that.
Could you imagine? That'd be like the John Moxley of football right there.
Now, starting quarterback for your XFL team. Yeah, they showed all the logos this week. They showed the logos and
they had the Tampa Bay Vipers, and my first thing I was put hashtag out of nowhere.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I was saying right away. Randy Orton's going to be here somehow. He's going to be like the team mascot or something. So, but all right, what do you have back on the wrestling list? So what else you want to talk about? And we're down to 10 minutes, guys.
Well, we're speaking of. I mean, we're going to go a little over. We're not constrained to time frame.
Well, no,
pay rent on this space.
That is true, but I want our listeners have to know we're consistent. So
there is one major issue I would like to touch on because you were talking about Twitter, and there is one big issue kind of very dividing the wrestling community in the Twitter sphere right now.
Mm-hmm.
This whole concept of real sport athletes versus performance artists.
Right.
So you got guys like Jim Cornette coming out and just no, it's a sport. You need to look legitimate. You need to look, you need to look professional. You need to make it believable,
mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you need to support kayfabe. And, you got a lot of these younger generations, like the millennial generation of wrestlers, so to speak, guys like Joey Ryan, Orange Cassidy, they're gimmick wrestlers. They're not, you're not going to put Orange Cassidy on the same level as a Daniel Bryan or an AJ Styles. But it doesn't mean that those guys are any less entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean, the debate is just getting so heated on both sides. I've seen a lot of even Count Out Cameron, if he's still watching, he and I were talking about it the other night. I believe wrestling is a big enough world that there's a time and a place for every gimmick and a time and a place for every style. And I feel like to pigeonhole some of these guys and say that they're not real wrestlers is wrong.
Well, didn't we see a gimmick like this back in the day with WCW with David Arquette being the WCW heavyweight champion? I mean, come on.
Well, that was some Vince Russo crap, but
Still, I mean, the same concept. Here's a guy who's not a wrestler at all.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's carrying the belt.
Not just any belt. That was the belt that Ric Flair.
Yeah,
had.
right. Exactly. The big important belt at the time.
Yeah.
So, and now that guy's been put into a match that's coming up, right?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like the big thing is like, because a lot of this stem from like the fact, I don't know if you know who this Superhuman guy is. Are you familiar with Superhuman?
I'm not until you guys sent me the link the other day. Look at this
God.
guy.
Oh, Jesus.
Superhuman is this guy. I think he's in Florida, and I believe he's high functioning autistic. I could be wrong about that.
Oh, that I don't know.
I don't want to like out the guy's mental state, but he for a little while now he's been putting out these Twitter videos of him taking bumps, like wrestling style bumps, onto like increasingly crazy. He builds himself as an amateur stuntman,
Like barbed wire in a wheelbarrow coming down and doing a butt plant.
or getting like the John Cena attitude adjustment on a barbed wire table or like a flaming table. I mean,
Well, it all started years ago with
Mick Foley.
yeah,
absolutely the Hall of Famer.
That's right.
yeah, and
Jumping
like
off his roof.
At least he got paid for it.
Not when he was jumping off the roof in his backyard, he wasn't.
True.
As a teenager, yeah, no.
So now this, and like he kind of caught like a cult following between a lot of indie wrestlers. Like I've seen Joey Janela do his trademark whoop whoop before hitting a high spot. Superhuman's got his own little catchphrases. So, I've seen a lot of indie wrestlers parody him.
Right.
Before they do a hit, before they like do a crazy move, they'll just yell on the top rope, "This for the Juggalos and the Juggalettes," whoop whoop, F this and just go into it. And so this guy is like just got a cult of personality around him now to the point where he's been booked in the main event of an actual wrestling show. This guy is untrained, as far as I know. He
Just throws his body.
just throws his body around. I mean, he's got a superhuman level of pain tolerance. I'll say that much. But like he's in like a fatal 5-way hardcore match with guys like Shark Boy and Joey Ryan, and a lot of people are up in arms about that, saying that like this amateur is like everything that's wrong with wrestling and cheapening the sport. So, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Like,
Well, I'll jump in and say, basically, I'm old school and respect the fact that he tried, but also, to me, it is a slap in the face to the guys who put in the hard work in the gyms and the training and the schools and, set up the ring, tear down the ring, sleep in the back of the vans. You got to respect the people that got you there. And the sad part is what happens if he gets hurt. You've got a lot of younger generation kids watching this that are going to start the backyard wrestling again.
Right.
And, Vince McMahon, like him, hate him, whatever, puts on the show and says, do not try this at home.
Right.
These are trained professionals. And I disagree with it. I don't like that type of gimmick. If you want to be part of the show and be at ringside, and I'm not trying to discourage or demean any manager or anything like that, that's fine. But don't get in the ring unless you're a trained professional.
Right.
You're just, in my opinion, you're hurting this sport.
I agree.
Same here. I agree. I think it's funny, like on his YouTube thing when he gets smacked and you hear him scream. But to be in the ring with all these guys that are like everybody respects, watch them perform, like what can he realistically do?
you think
Besides getting hit by a chair and laying there?
you think they're going to be safe with him, or are they going to potato the hell out of him?
I kind of hope they potato the hell out
Just
of
go
him.
straight up Idaho on him?
That would be amazing.
Well, they're going to have to do something because if this guy gets severely injured in some way, obviously I'm sure he signed waivers and all this other stuff. But I would think that there would have to be some form of liability with the wrestling promotion that signed him at some level, should he get hurt while performing during the match.
Well, I remember, to me, a lot of this smacks of, I don't know if you remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, when ECW was starting up, there was an incident called, it's kind of famous, back where I'm from, back in Philly. It's called the Mass Transit incident.
Not familiar with it. Don't remember.
Are you familiar with Mass Transit?
I know where you're going with this.
So a little background on this. Back in the heyday of ECW, they were doing a house show where, they would basically, sign people on the spot. They'd make them fill out the waivers and all this, and they'd put them in the ring with ECW talent. And I don't know if you know who New Jack is, but New Jack was notoriously one of the stiffest, most violent, unsafe workers in the history of the business.
Right.
And they put him in the ring with this grossly overweight kid named he came out dressed like a bus driver, and like he was like 300 pounds.
Okay.
And he went under the ring name of Mass Transit. And New Jack just bladed him. He beat the crap out of him. And this kid is just bleeding all over the ring. Turned out the kid was 17 years old.
Oh, man.
He wasn't even of legal age. It was a big black eye for ECW.
Yeah, sure.
And the kid wound up passing out in the ring from blood loss. Nobody stopped. I mean, they had to stop the match.
Right.
Wow. It was really violent. You can still see really crappy camcorder video of it somewhere in the bowels of the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you even hear the guy, his dad let him do it. His dad signed the waivers too. But halfway through the match, he's you can hear the dad yell out "Oh my God, he's just a kid."
Too late at that point.
He's your kid. You let your kid just have a grown, angry man cut your kid's head open with a razor blade and just kick the ever-loving tar out of him. Good and ECW faced a lot of lawsuits because of that. And that kid was never the same. In fact, I think for unrelated health reasons, he wound up dying a few years after that.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Justin, thanks for joining us.
But, that's what happens when you have untrained,
absolutely
unsafe people in the ring. You run the risk of somebody getting hurt.
And we've talked about it, but not just having the individual, the kid, the inexperienced wrestler, or not even wrestler, talent, or if you want to call it that, in the ring, but when you have a dance partner in the ring, you're responsible for that other dance partner.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens if he hurts a trained wrestler by doing something stupid?
You better not hurt Joey Ryan. That man is a national treasure.
Oh, man.
Yes. Although at the same time, I really want to see Superhuman get dick flipped onto a fiery table.
Why do I feel like this table's divided?
But notice the age difference that's causing that difference as well.
Here's the thing. I am a fan of the old school, and I respect where the business came from. At the same time, I always view wrestling like a vaudeville show. It's a variety show. There's something for everybody, and it's always been like that. You have your guys like Bret Hart, who's your ring technician, and all of a sudden Bret Hart, one of the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, going into the ring against a zombified mortician who's controlled by a metal urn. The thing is, people want to look at guys like Joey Ryan and Orange Cassidy and Marco Stunt and Luchasaurus and say that, oh, that's killing the business, that's ridiculous. But it's the business has actually been like this since the TV era started. We had a clown and a hockey goon. We had Duke the Dumpster Droese and Mantar. You can't tell me that there was not ridiculous gimmicks in wrestling. These guys are just using their natural athleticism to parlay that into an interesting gimmick. Say what you want about Orange Cassidy putting his hands in his pockets for an entire match and acting like he's the king of sloth style and just lazy as hell.
Right.
But have you seen the things he does when he's in the ring?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of athleticism and talent to do what he does. That's why when these guys want to say that they're performance artists, I mean, some of these guys are just as muscular and built as a circus light performer.
Absolutely. Listen, I know we have basically open air time, but I want our audience to be consistent with what our show is going to be, because we know most people.
Are we boring you, audience?
Yeah, well, I hope not, but we're still filling in there. People are still joining the watch party, which is great.
Are you not entertained?
Let's switch gears on this final topic, and then we'll kind of wrap up our first show. This Sunday, Big Valley Wrestling, who Johnny and I do commentary for, is having a huge match, huge card this Saturday down at the Sahara Event Center. Bell time is 3 p.m., a special start time. It is Labor Day weekend. I don't know if you have your phone handy, if you can bring up some of the matches, or if you know them.
I know them. I know some of them. So we have some local favorites: Sky High going up against Exceptional and Tenacious,
right?
Which I believe
is say Exceptional, right? Because otherwise he's going to get on us on Sunday. Please.
Exceptional
and we both can't sing.
Tenacious. Right. Okay,
we can't sing like Ricky, so I don't want to even try.
Nobody wants to sing like Ricky.
Thank goodness.
So I would break this glass if I sang like that.
And we can't afford to replace the glass.
So we have ENT against Sky High, which I believe is a #1 contenders match.
I believe so.
For the BBW Tag Championships, because the tag champions are going to be busy
in the survival match.
There's the Sin City survival matches.
Right. Fresco and De Niro.
It's a fatal 5-way hardcore elimination style match.
I think there's more than 5. At last count, I think I saw 7. I thought I saw 7th entrance.
So wait, we have Fresco and De Niro. That's 2.
Right.
We have Funny Bone.
Right.
Big Dirty.
Right.
Sergeant Major.
Right.
And thought that was just the 5.
No, I saw it come through. I thought I saw 7, but there's plenty of people that are going to cause havoc. Let's put it that way.
Hey, Dirty, if you're still watching, who you working with? Well,
yeah, exactly.
Tweet us out.
Exactly.
But we also got we have Kevin Ducats
Oh,
defending the Las Vegas title against the Problem.
yeah,
One Sefa Fatu.
yeah. That's going to be
a
great. I mean,
killer,
the
man.
place blew off when Fatu made it to the ring
Oh, it's
last month.
I'm sorry I missed it.
Oh, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And please don't ever leave me at the desk again with Bobby Beamer.
Oh,
I know he filled in for me when I wasn't there. Now I know the troubles you went in.
karma.
Although I will say this,
Paybacks.
he did. Yeah, exactly. He did say a line that I thought was really cool, and it had me like he got my attention. I forgot what match it was, but one of the guys was up on the turnbuckle
Okay.
and ready to jump down on the other guy.
Oh, Congo crushes.
Right. That's what it was.
Speaking of the dealership,
Right.
Congo crushes
That's
the
right.
6-man in that fight.
Oh, there you go. So Beamer says he's ready to make the jump, but after he missed it, he says that's like jumping into a pool without water. I lost it. I thought it was a great line. That's the only thing I learned from Beamer that day, by the way. And he went at it with Tiffany in the ring. Not cool.
Oh no.
Not cool when
Not
you argue
cool.
with Tiffany in the ring. But great card, special bell time, 3 o'clock, right?
You've yet to talk about our main event for that.
Which main event?
Everything's
a main event. When you're in the rink setting up for 500 people,
Okay,
everything is a main event card.
What I'm saying is Frank the Tank.
Yeah, Frank the Tank, he's got his
Taking
belt up.
He's got his belt up against probably the only guy who can actually match him pound for pound.
Mhm.
AC Baby.
Yeah,
Ace Romero is battling Frank
That's
the
right.
Tank for the BBW heavy.
I hope the ring
heavyweight.
is reinforced.
Oof. They're going to need some like Big Show Braun Strowman reinforcement for that one.
Could you imagine if Congo Crush was in that? There's a 3-way with the weight that those 3 guys would put in there. They'd have to wrestle right on the floor.
Oh, throwing dirty for
Just for balance. Special bell time, 3 p.m. Sahara Event Center. I think it's 800 Karen Avenue. Tickets are available. If I'm not mistaken, it's $12 for adults, 2 for 1 for seniors. Kids under 12 get in for free. There's reserved seating. Just come on down. Good time. Like I said, special bell time at 3, although our call time is still 12 o'clock, which is normal for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, come on down. Make it a Labor Day weekend. Have fun, something different. Come on down and enjoy some local, like we were talking about before, the local pro scene here for wrestling is absolutely off the charts. And BVW now, they're getting ready for their 4th anniversary show coming up in a couple of months. And they're continuing to grow, and it'll be a great day on Sunday. So final thoughts, gentlemen, as we wrap up our first episode of Thoughts Count Anywhere. Who's got it? Who wants to start off? Go ahead, Matt. Give us a final thought. All right, well done. Johnny, give us a no. He who hesitates is lost. Give us a thought. Somebody. Scott, give us a final thought.
I'm going to Popeyes.
Have a good time. On that note, we can't beat anything other than that.
Oh my
So-
God! I just hope it's not our last show.
Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, for my partners, we'll end it right there on that note. For Johnny, for Matt, for Scott the boss, for me, I'm Aaron. Thank you for watching our first show. We know there's some bumps in the road, and I'm watching the Facebook live feed on my phone. Little choppy. That's the Wi-Fi. We're going to try to improve on that as shows continue. Want to thank everybody for jumping in. Please reshare the link. We're going to post this. Also, we're going to post the audio on all your standard iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all the sites for all the other audios. If you like it, please share us. Join our Facebook page, Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'd love to hear your thoughts and maybe some show ideas and guests you'd like to see because we got some connections.
Yeah, we do.
You want to
That's
share some names potentially coming up because you've been working on that of who we might get on.
Am
here
I
in the
allowed to
future?
share the shirt?
Sure. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
So say
we got his email, so.
Oh, you got his email.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Wow.
As long as he doesn't put it on.
Oh, please no. I'll give you $1. I'll give you $1 not to put it on.
So,
What do you got? TJ Perkins, TJP, formerly, yes, of the WWE 205 Live crew. Absolutely. So he's going to be coming on. We'll just share. You got to stay in tune
Got a
to the
couple-
Facebook page, right?
Got a couple local guys. Cutthroat Cody wants to come on.
We're going to see Kevin Cross come in here someday. We're going
That's
to
what we're
get Cross
hoping
on.
for.
We've been talking.
We'll walk. All right. So you got to stay on our Facebook page because that's where we'll be announcing all of our guests, happenings, remote shows. Come on down. We're going to be on Wednesday, 7 p.m.
I know Marty the Moth has said he's wanted to do a show, and he's actually, speaking of, we didn't get to cover this. Marty's got a signing
September
here at Valentine.
7th, Saturday, September 7th, 1 to 3 p.m. right here. You'll meet him here at Power Play Sports. So yeah, check us out every Wednesday night. Stop by, check us out if you're here in the arena. Yeah, listen to me. If you're here by the mall, come on in, stop by, say hello.
That wasn't me this time.
No, that was me. Oh no, the phones.
Sorry.
We got to do.
Tag partners.
Yeah, there you go. We got to do something to penalize these guys for that. How about 10 burpees?
Oh, God, no. You know what? I'll match you burpee for burpee. Oh, wait.
I can't. No, but I can. How about squats? You want to do
And
squats?
with a broken wing.
I can still do squats. Anyway, have a great week, everybody. From all of us here at Thoughts Count Anywhere, thank you for watching. We appreciate you for tuning in, and we will be back next week on the air right here. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.